Okay, so I'm just uploading these to Evoto. I'm just pulling them in here. So these are straight out of the camera. This is how my clients typically see them when we do the in-person sales session. They usually see them straight out of the camera. So as you can see, she's got acne, she's got some shiny spots, things like that. And some of these, especially when we get to the end, when she's been playing like basketball, her shiny spots are even more pronounced, as well as the acne. So anyway, I've always just shown straight out of the camera, and I do really well with sales with that. It is my sales average is like $5,800. So and it's never been a problem showing straight out of the camera. However, this has made it so easy and quick and inexpensive to do that. This is going to be my new workflow from now on. So for this coming season, I am going to be doing I'm not going to go in and do like object removal and things like that, but as far as like retouching, I am. So just to give you a quick idea on Evoto, this is how it works. So it's got freckle and acne slider. So we're gonna watch it just disappear. So I know this sounds like a commercial. It's not meant to, but I freaking love this thing. So I'm gonna slide that back just so you can watch it happen again. And we're gonna zoom in even more so you can see. And we're gonna slide it and it just disappears. So if she had freckles, which I don't think she really has freckles, but if she did, you can actually separate the freckles from the acne. So anyway, but that took care of all the acne in literally one quick slider. So the face shine is the other one that I absolutely love. And I like that the sliders are on here so you can control how much you do. So if you're like, oh, I still want a little bit of shine, a little bit of the specular highlights on her, then you can turn it down. But if you want all the face shine gone, you can do that. And one of the things that I like about Evoto is you still have skin texture. Like there's nothing worse than the ones that take away the skin texture completely, just smooths out the skin. Those are terrible, and I do not recommend them. So anyway, it's got something for dark circles. So we're gonna watch that disappear. And so, and it still leaves like you can do something with the eye bags if you want to, but I don't recommend it. I want them to still look like them. Let's see. Oh, and it's got the preserve. It's like for this under eye stuff. But if you've got people, so it took away all that. Now, I don't want to do that, obviously. I'm just showing you guys what it does. But if you've got people who have like bags under their eyes, you can, you can adjust that if that's something they're self-conscious of. So obviously we want it to still look like they have eye sockets. So anyway, so that's on there. The skin retouching. So I don't do a lot of this, but I'm going to show you guys just so you can see what it can do. So neck wrinkles, we're going to watch that. It's just processing and they're gone. So let me do that slider again just so you can watch. So watch, oops, I'm going the wrong direction here. Watch the neck wrinkles and bam. So those are gone. If she doesn't really have a double chin. I don't even know if it'll do if it'll like actually show anything, but it just basically darkens it, and that's actually the most natural double chin remover that I've ever seen. I may have one that her chin looks a little bigger that I can show you guys, but anyway, so skin retouching. I don't do the face skin smoothing because that's the one that will take away the texture, and I'll just show you what that looks like. See, it's taken away your texture. And I don't like to do that, but I do the dodge and burn. It just kind of evens out the skin tone. So I'm going to do that real quick. Not that it needs a whole lot of that. I do use lights on everything. So with proper lighting, there's not much I need to do as far as evening out skin tone typically. Especially when the other stuff works as well as it does. There's teeth whitening. So she's got great teeth. So I'm just going to just turn this up. Actually, let's just turn it way up so you can see. So obviously that's way overdone. So I'm going to bring the slider back down. Let's go to like 30. So her teeth look nice and white. She's got, like I said, great white teeth. She's not a shark. Okay, anyway. So we've got, you can brighten the eyes up. And it's got a breakdown of the different, like the sclera, which is the white part. I don't like that to be too over whitened because that looks really unnatural and alien-like. but it's got the different parts of the eye that you can change up and brighten and all that stuff. Again, I don't like to overdo eyes because that's one of the giveaways of just being too retouched. I just like everything to look natural. So she doesn't actually have glasses, so I can't show you the glasses glare. If you photograph them in natural light and you do not have catch lights in their eyes, of course I always have catch lights, but you can add catch lights to their eyes just so they don't look like they have no soul. So you can do that. The hair, we're going to watch the stray hairs go away. There's a remove stray hairs. And there it goes. So, and again, slider, so you can adjust how much. So you want it to look natural. And I think it does a good job of keeping it looking fairly natural in most images. If you want to take away stray hairs within figure outline, so if it's like stray hairs on her forehead or shoulders or something like that, then you can do that. And then beyond figure outlines is like outside of her head shape, hair shape. Anyway, and it's got stuff for like full body reshape. I don't touch that stuff because again, I like it to look natural. You can fill the hair part line. If she had a gap in her hair part, that would show up. I don't think it's going to really do anything because she doesn't have a gap. No, it's not really. The high cranial top though, if she's like, oh my gosh, my hair is flat, then you can raise that up for her, give her a little poof in the back. And let me do the before and after so you can see that. So this is what we started with before, this is after. So it still looks like her. It's just, giving just a little bit of, polished and fine-tuned, and it's going to keep her from focusing on the acne and the shiny spots and the stray hairs and all that when she's looking at her images. And so we're already just about where I'd want to be with a final retouch on this. I'm shooting her on a backdrop here so we can crop that. The other thing we can do though is we can actually change the backdrop if we want to do that. It'll cut her out and change the backdrop. There's a lot in here. I don't usually do something like this, like that looks super fake to me, but you can actually upload your own if you want to upload your own, and and then be able to put those in there. So again, I'm not going to, and there is a transparent so you can cut it out. And it does a fairly good job with the hair and stuff like that. But anyway, again, I don't usually change the backdrop, but we can go in here and just give it a little crop. So I don't have to worry about that. So we've done that, and so we can make color adjustments. And one of the things that I do like is you can do a local color adjustment where you can just adjust the background. So if I wanted to adjust the background and I wanted to turn it, different tones, different colors, things like that, I can do that. I can use the temperature and tint on here to change that, or I can go into curves, or I can do curves, I can change the vibrance, I can change the saturation, all that stuff. So so there's a lot of options in here. There's color grading. If I wanted to change the color, it just takes a second to process when we do this. So, and if I go back to the background thing, there's a mask for manual fine tuning if I want to do that. But anyway, just like I said, I wanted to show you guys some of the options here. So you can also, just like you can change the background, you can also change the person. So you can see the mask here is like, it's not quite going all the way up to her hair. But anyway, you can change the person, you can change just her face. So like sometimes if their face doesn't match their neck with their makeup or something, you can change their face or their body. So you can, change the tone so it matches. She matches pretty good, but oh, eyebrows, that's new. That's interesting. Okay, so you can change your eyebrow or oh, okay, that's cool. Yeah, these are all new since I've So you can actually change. Let's look at the lips and just see if we wanted to change the color. And there's actually a whole separate makeup thing. Interesting. That actually does a really good job to just change the tone of her lipstick. Interesting. Okay. Anyway, so there's a lot of stuff you can do by separating the background from her. So I just wanted to show you guys that. You can also obviously adjust as a full image. This is just a color palette. There are also AI color looks that you can do if you wanted to. It's basically like a preset, but they're AI, so they're supposed to take into account the individual image and kind of give you the preset based on that individual image. And of course, there are sliders with this as well. I'm not usually a preset person. I like everything to be pretty true to life colors. So I don't really do this stuff, but they're here if you want to do it. The one that I do like, I'll show you here in a second when this one's done. I like the true luxury texture is the one that I tend to use if I use anything, because I think it gives it like a really good rich vibe without and let's look at the before and after again. It just makes it look rich, but still like a pretty true to color. So anyway, all this is just, I mean, there's so much in here, you guys. There's also presets on this left side. So if you didn't want to go in and like retouch everything, you could just pick like high-end retouching, and it'll just give you a high-end retouch. So this is not what I would choose. You can also make your own preset. So I'm going to hit back and we're going to go, I'm going to throw this back in here. I'm going to take care of the face shine, the dark circles, the eye bags. We're going to bring that down there. So this again, it's so fast, you guys. Also, if it takes away more of the skin texture than you want, and you want skin texture, you can actually add it back. So there's matte, there's satin, and there's dewy. So I tend to do satin on most because I do like a little bit of highlighting on there, but you can also change there's sliders, so you can change that. So I like to be able to I like all the control I get over everything. So let's see. You can change the facial expression. This is not something that I've really done, but it actually looks fairly natural because that actually looks like her natural smile. So if you're like, oh, she was just like barely smiling and I want to give her a little bit more of a smile or whatever, I guess you can do that. I have not actually used that, so I don't know how often I would use that, but it's nice to have the option. So I'm going to brighten her eyes back up. Let's see, catch light she had. We'll do a little bit of the cranial top to give her a little poof in her hair. Let me go back to the, crop. So again, this is just, it's freaking awesome, you guys. Like, seriously, it's pretty much the best. And the best part is after I get done with all this, I can sync them. So I can sync them just like in Lightroom, and I can sync the entire thing to where it'll just go through and do the same stuff to all of the images. It just takes a couple minutes to process everything. And so this one looks pretty good to me. We're gonna go back, oops, wrong one. So this is the modules are over here. So color adjustments, portrait retouching, the background adjustments, that's where I went and changed the background. Like where I did the transparent background and the different plain black backgrounds. Clothes and accessories touch up is a de-wrinkle thing, which I can show you in a second. Then crop, and then tethered shooting, which I haven't messed with yet. So anyway, I'm gonna go back in here. I'm gonna go back up, and I'm just gonna let's see where to go. Neck wrinkle. We're just gonna do that a little bit. I don't know that that's even anything that is really much of a difference or that she'd notice, but anyway, we're just gonna fade it out a little bit. And so there you go. I'm pretty happy with this. So there's a before and after, and it just even the stray hairs thing even makes it look smoother in the hair, so you can see all those individual hairs when we're looking at it like this, and then it smooths it all out. which looks nice. And I think it's done well without looking like a helmet, because you can still see some of the straggly hairs in here, just enough to make it look natural. So I really like that. So we are gonna go ahead and I'm gonna sync this. And then I'm gonna go in and find one. I'm going to go in and find one that needs the wrinkle thing, so I can show you guys that. So you can see the little circles down here as they're going around, and they're just processing all these images. So I mean, this is something that if I'm not showing you guys, like, it literally takes me a couple of minutes maybe to do I think there's 110 in here. So it would literally take me just like 5 minutes to be completely done. And I don't really use Photoshop for anything anymore. I'll go in if I need to do like object removal. Oh, here's another thing too. So I've known this kid forever. I photographed her for a long time. So her left eye's always closed a little bit more than her right eye. So we can fix that too. Super easy. Let's see. It is under facial reshape. So I'm going to go under here, and so you can do eye height, and this is, oops, we're going to unlock that. So they're linked. So there we go. So they were linked there, so I unlinked them. So now that I've got the eye height, it matches. I don't need it quite that high. That looks pretty good. So let's look at just her eyes. So just open it up just a little bit to where the eye height matches, so it looks like they're open the same. And if I wanted to open them both up a little bit more, I can link that back and then just open them both up. Oh, actually I can't. I guess to get them even, I need to do them separately. Anyway, so yeah, so I'm pretty happy with that because I opened them both up just a little bit. So anyway, that I think that looks fantastic. So we are gonna go. So I do like to just kind of glance at everything as I'm going and make sure that it did what I wanted it to. So this is something like I do object removal in Photoshop on here. I have asked for object removal. Oh, and down here as well. Actually, I'd probably just crop this. Let's look at a crop because that's too much floor. Anyway, so yeah, so we're just going to crop on that and then just do the object removal in Photoshop later. This one would be another one that I would just crop. And actually, I'm going to crop it like that. We're going to make it a 3/4 shot, which was probably my intention. I always shoot a little wide because I'd rather be able to crop in than not have enough space to do that. So I was clearly just shooting all over the place this day. Oops. And there is an angle thing in here, so you can straighten it like that, or just drag the corner around like I was doing. Hit OK on that one. So this is getting a little bit, I'm waiting for that to process to pop back up. This one's getting a little bit bright on this side, a little bit like too bright on here on this side compared to the other side for me. So I'm probably just going to hit matte on the skin tone, so it will take away that shiny part. And then I can also raise the shadows for the shadow side of her face. And for that, it doesn't really matter if I do local or if I do the whole thing because there's not really a lot of shadow going on in the not a lot of shadow going on in the background. And probably that's a little much for me. And I can take the highlights down just a little bit as well. I don't know what kind of time y'all usually put into doing something like this, but the fact that I can get it all done so quickly is amazing. Um, so I'm not going to go through and like crop all of these and all that stuff. You guys get the idea, I think. Like I said, I just love the skin texture that we get to keep with this, that we get to keep that skin texture in there. So we're not losing that, because that is awful when they look like a doll. Let's see. So we've got some wrinkles in here. So let's use the de-wrinkle things. That's the other thing I wanted to be able to show you guys. Voila. So it's not perfect, but it takes away the majority of those wrinkles. So you can see that difference there. And that is, yeah, it's awesome to be able to do that. So, and I can go ahead and just sync these. So I'm going to deselect those. I did this one. So I can sync the ones in that outfit, because the other stuff that I had done on that is all the same. So I can just sync these, and the only thing that's added on these is that de-wrinkle. I do have a steamer in the studio, and I do believe we steamed that day, or I think I let her mom do it. So I don't know, either her mom or I or somebody did not, you know, get quite all the wrinkles out. Obviously, with something like this, I'm also I cropped and then I extended the image in Photoshop. AI is amazing for stuff like that. So, but anyway, but like I said, we're just looking at the. Let me see what kind of crop I would do on this. That's a very narrow wall that I have there. It's like one of those 4x8 panels from Lowe's next to my other background. That's my dressing room in the background over there. So anyway, but yeah, so I just did something like this and then extended the wall. Oops, in Photoshop. So we're gonna go, let's see what these look like. So this is her before. You can see it's showing 11 steps of things that I've done, and it's showing the before and after on that. So there's our before and after, and actually this one could use a de-wrinkle as well. I could have just done de-wrinkle in the whole set. I probably should have done that. I just didn't bother with the black top. So look at that. I mean, that de-wrinkle is amazing there. That makes it look absolutely perfect. So definitely worth doing that for these. I'm going to go ahead and sync those so we've got the de-wrinkle on that as well. And yeah, I mean, it's crazy how fast this is, and it is so inexpensive. This is the most expensive package that they have is 7 cents an image. And if you outsource your retouching, most retouchers charge somewhere between like $2 and $5 an image. And I mean, I hate to think that retouchers are going to go out of business, but like, I really don't know. I can literally get these done faster than I can send to a retoucher. And that's just crazy to me. Like, I don't, faster and so much cheaper. So I can do a whole session for like, I don't know, it's like 11 bucks-ish, depending on how many images. So there's just no, I mean, it's worth all the time that I save from not having to retouch. So, and let me go back to the end here. I was going to look at the sports ones that we did in her gym. And there we go. So looks good. These clean up nicely. This one needs to be cropped as well. These I've already done, but I started a new project to be able to show you guys. That's not exactly straight, but you get the idea. Anyway, so it takes care of that. And again, this is the only thing I don't have in here is the object removal. And so we've got like over here, we've got the outlet. I do cover that up if they don't block it. I cover that up, and obviously it would take out my light, so I did all that in Photoshop, but I don't even have to do all of these in Photoshop. They clean up pretty well, so so unless I'm actually taking out an object or something like that, I don't even open it in Photoshop. So anyway, I think I've shown you guys all the stuff that I was gonna just kind of show off and all that stuff. So I think I've shown you everything. I just wanted to give you an idea of how easy this is. I will put a code in the comments that will give you 30 free credits if you want to try it out. And when you can go in here and upload, you can download it for free, you can upload your images, you can play to your heart's content. The only time it actually takes a credit is if you export. So when I hit export up here, however many I've got selected are the ones that I'm paying for with my credits. And you can click on your initial. I can see that I've bought 2,705 credits and I have 364 remaining. So you can see that on here, and you know, keep track of that. If you go in, like let's say I do these and I export them and then I'm like, oh, I forgot to de-wrinkle the clothes or whatever. If I open the same project back up, and oh, and here's another good example of the de-wrinkling. If I open another project back up and I yeah, let's do this one because you can see the wrinkles pretty well in there. If I open a project back up and I just retouch the exact same project and then export again, it does not charge me credits again. If you upload new images, even if they're the same images, but you upload it like it's a new project or a new file, and then do it again, then it will charge you credits. But if you're just like, oh, I forgot to do something, and you just go back and mess with it again, then it does not, it doesn't charge you credits again. So which is pretty cool. So, but again, you can go in here and play as much as you want. You just buy credits when you actually want to export them. So I am just, there we go. So I'm going to show you the before and after on this one. So you can see all those wrinkles getting taken out of there. So if you wanted to smooth this out a little bit more in Photoshop, you can, but that's taken a lot of the work out. You can even see the fine wrinkles in the front of the dress that are taken out here. So anyway, again, just wanted to show you guys. Oh, there is one more thing actually, now that we've got a sky here. There's a sky replacement, which is pretty cool. And they've got skies in here, so you can use their skies, or if you want to upload your own, you can do that as well. What is happening here? That one looks really weird. Let's find another one. So normally it must not be masking that well right there. Normally it matches pretty well. So I could go in and fine tune the mask if I want to do that, so you can see how you can add to it or take it away. It's got a smart edge brush. I haven't really messed with the smart edge brush. Honestly, I don't sky replace very often just because I use off-camera flash, so I don't usually have to. But it is pretty cool to be able to do the sky replacements. And I usually obviously pick one and match the scene. Oops, let me do okay. And you can move your sky horizontal or vertically. If you want to move it over, if you want, you know, certain clouds in a certain place, anything like that. Let's see. I'm just reading this. I haven't done the edge adjustments before, but you can cool your sky down and warm it up and all that stuff. The saturation, you can change that. So if you're like, oh, it's a little bit orange, we're gonna, you know, I don't want it quite that orange or whatever, you can do that. Brightness, sky blur, make sure that if your trees are out of focus or whatever's on your horizon, that your sky is equally out of focus. So if your sky is like super sharp and everything else is out of focus in that same horizon area, it's going to look weird, but also if everything is, you know, or the opposite. And then this is also really cool. So you can do the scenery color matching the sky. So if you want it to match the sky better, you can do that. And then you can actually do that with your person as well. So you can make it all kind of go together better. So anyway, yeah, I think that's all I wanted to do and show you guys and all that stuff. So if I liked her matching the sky better, then I'd probably just go in here and just raise the exposure a little bit. So that was probably too much. Let's see what it does. that's actually, it's not terrible. And you can change the color temp, and I would do that on the full image as it is here. Like if I was going to cool it down or something like that. She looks a little over retouched on this one, so I'm probably going to slide her hair slider back a little bit, remove stray hairs and bring that back a little, just so it's not quite so helmet-like. And again, that's really the best part of this, is that you can use those sliders and make everything perfect or not as perfect. So, and you can control so much of it. So anyway, I just wanted to show you guys. I think that's it for now. And like I said, I'll put the code in there if you guys want to grab some free credits and be able to play with this and, you know, make your clients happy. That's it. I'll talk to you later. Bye.